Well, politics is a complex one, isn't it? And the Christian worldview can help us in a number of ways which can be meaningful today. Following the example of taking a topic all the way through from creation to redemption, I think we can see politics, and I've got a background as a lawyer, as really dealing with four key questions of our experience as humans. We've got this question of authority. What does it mean to have someone in authority over us? And the Bible says that the authorities are there to promote those who do good and to restrain those who do evil. So we've got a moral foundation and a foundation of love for politics. Imagine what Augustine said to be true, that the ruler should love those he has authority over. That's very different to some accounts of authority. But then how do we know what is true or good about the world to encourage that? We need a view of truth. How do we know what's good about the world? And so the Bible shows us actually how truth can be known, and that we can access a common good for all humanity despite sin, because the Bible gives us a grounding for knowledge. And so through the gospel, we can have confidence that rationality and persuasive discussion in Parliament, where we can parley, is where contribution can be known. We don't just have to fight over things, we can talk about them. And today in our postmodern world, that's not really taken for granted anymore. But then thirdly, if we've got a basis for knowing what's truth, the Bible informs what is the substantive vision of the common good. We're created. How do we flourish? How are we designed to flourish? And in the Old Testament particularly, we have this very specific and detailed description of a flourishing humanity in the promised land. And there are principles that we can draw out of that, particularly thinking about localization of government, for example, or in restorative justice for some minor crimes where rather than just going to prison, we can restore ourselves by working and contributing to the community. But I think particularly for today, one of the most important ways that the gospel worldview helps in politics is that we won't see our politicians as the Messiah. We see Christ as the Messiah, who is not only bringing people to himself, changing their hearts and minds, but also giving them a substantive vision of the good. And so it means that we don't try to enforce laws or democracy on a people that doesn't have a heart and mind changed by the gospel. But equally, it means that when we do have the gospel being spread through nations, we understand that our pastors and our churches should be encouraging us to get involved in public life, to actually bring that transformation that the gospel gives us.